Hello and welcome to our summer session psychobiology class. My name is Melissa Ferguson and I will be your instructor for the semester. I'm just going to briefly go over some details that I think are important for you to know about the syllabus, but I do want to encourage you to read the syllabus from the front to the back, and you can find that on Canvas. So a lot of times students in an online class have the question, well, where and when do we meet? Our class is fully asynchronous. That means that we do not meet in person. We do not meet synchronously via Zoom. Our class is all in the Canvas shell. So it is a completely online class. All of the information you need, module pages with readings, lecture videos, assignments, exams, that's all there for you in the module already. It is self-paced, meaning that you can complete the work that's due that week anytime during the week. I do suggest that you pace yourself out. Do a little bit each day. Even if you work full-time, set aside 30 minutes each night to go through and at least reading the textbook, going through the module pages, so that you're successful. The modules will open up weekly, or the modules that will be covered in a given week will open up weekly. So this first week, you actually will cover 4 modules, and then I believe it's just 1 for the next couple weeks, and then maybe 2 or 3 the following weeks. You'll have to check the syllabus to see what that schedule is. Most assignments are going to be due Sunday. However, this first week there is one required assignment, an introduction video, that is due on Wednesday. That has to do with the dropping no-shows. So please complete that by Wednesday so you can stay enrolled in the class. And then there's also an optional but very heavily recommended Respondus quiz, because we will be using Respondus monitoring for our exams this semester. So let me take you to our Canvas classroom. So when you click on the Canvas shell for our class on your dashboard, this is what you should see. So I have a link to our textbook, which is an online textbook that's free. It's an OER text that I've developed for this class. You'll see a link to the syllabus, a link for Zoom office hours, which will be by appointment each week. And then I will also have a set time each week. And then here's a link to the modules. Here is a welcome page. Please make sure you read through this so you understand what the course is about. There's a getting started page, my contact information, and then again a little note about Zoom office hours and the link again to that. So once you've read through this for the first time, once you get to this page, you'll want to click on the module page. And this is where all of our coursework is. So this first module is kind of, again, that welcome to psychobiology, information about office hours, and then this is your first assignment that you can see is due on Wednesday of this week, and there's that optional assignment. It will be worth extra credit. Please take advantage of any extra credit that I offer in this class. Here is some other important information that you should go through, and then here again is another link to our textbook that I've again put together specifically for this class. Here's where we start learning information from the class, and each week I suggest for each module that you go to the welcome page. You read through the welcome page. There will be a link to the PowerPoint slides, or sorry, this would be the link to the PowerPoint slides. This is the link to the chapter that you're going to cover. So if you click on this, it will take you to that first chapter. This is that title page, and then you would go hit next to start reading the text. If we go back to that page, this is going to take you to those PowerPoint slides. Now, for whatever reason, this first chapter comes up weird on people's phones. This isn't a class that you should be planning to complete on your phone. This is an online class. You do need to have some sort of device besides a phone to complete the course. All right, going back here, then you would click next. And here's where you'd start reading through the module pages, watching the videos. And again, if you skip these, so I suggest going through the module pages in order, reading the content, because that's the way, if I was, we were face to face, that's how the lecture would flow, would be in the order of these module pages. Some of it is reading, some of it's videos that I would show in class, and others are actual lecture videos. So please don't miss out on watching these videos and reading through these pages, because it's like missing a lecture, a course. So again, I've talked about this Introduction to Biological Psychology, this textbook. It's linked both in the syllabus, in the Canvas course shell, on the homepage of the shell. If you have any problems accessing it, please let me know. It is a Canvas shell itself, so you do have to be logged into Canvas to access it, but I want to make sure that everybody is able to access it. I can also add you as a student to that Canvas shell, so if you are having trouble clicking clicking the links for some reason, please let me know. This is my previous text. So I know some students, perhaps international students, ESL students, they might prefer to have an actual hard copy of a text. Now, while you can print up the pages in that Canvas shell, if you want a textbook, the one that I used previously is Colot's Biopsychology. I lectured up to the 13th edition with this text. I believe there's a 14th edition. I wouldn't do the 14th because it's new and it's gonna be more expensive, and you could easily find the 13th, even the 12th or the 11th if you really wanted a hard copy of a text. It does have a little bit more information than I cover, but it is a good textbook as well. And you'd be able to find that anywhere on the internet, I would think. My email address, something important to keep handy. I respond to emails normally pretty quickly. I do always ask that you put your course name and CR in the subject line. This is the only class I'm teaching this summer, so it's not as important, but it's just a good practice to get used to when you're in college. This is my office, LLSS 378. I don't expect to be there a whole lot during the summer, but I may pop in there from time to time. Office hours will be announced weekly, or you can email me and set up an appointment, and the Zoom code, as I show you, is on the home page of our Canvas classroom. So this class, it's the study of the biology of behavior. So we start off the first half of the semester talking about the nuts and bolts, is what I like to call it. The structure and the function of neurons and glia, the development of the nervous system, hormones, the structure and function of the nervous system. Then the second half of the, I guess we'll say summer session instead of semester, we will go into behaviors. And so you want to get a good foundation of those nuts and bolts and how the brain works, the action potential, all of those things, so that we then can apply them to behaviors. So we'll talk about sleep, movement, sexual behavior, reproduction, and a variety of different disorders. We'll talk about drugs and addiction, learning, memory, intelligence, thought, language. All of those things are different behaviors that we'll cover in the second half of the semester. So you'll be tested on what's in the text, of course, the video lectures that you have, different assignments, different activities, and then of course other video multimedia supplements that I might have on there. Now, within the Canvas shell, some things I put up there I expect you to read through and to watch. Other things I will say that they're optional. It's just for your own additional information. If you're interested in the topic and you want to read more, here's something else I found. If it says optional, it won't be on the exam. If it doesn't say optional, please make sure you're not skipping those lecture videos, skipping through reading those module pages. It's all important information. So how can you be successful in this summer session? Again, like I'm trying to emphasize, is navigate the pages of the modules in order. Start on that home page, read through it, and then just click next and keep going. And when you get to an assignment, complete that assignment. Then go next, because I don't have all the assignments at the end of the module. I have them worked in, so the assignment comes after the information that it's trying to help you reinforce. So read each page, watch the videos, take notes while you're doing it, just like you would if you were in a face-to-face class. Again, this is a very quick, fast-paced course. It's 6 weeks. We're taking a 16 weeks course, and we're compacting it into 6 weeks. So that's almost twice as fast as you would have it, more than twice as fast, I should say, as you would have it in a regular semester. So don't skip assignments, don't fall behind. You can't take a week off in a summer session class. You have to keep up on everything. Again, pace yourself out. Please don't try to complete everything in the week, over the weekend. I mean, that will consume your entire weekend. I suggest trying to carve out a little bit of time, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour each night, so that you can complete the work during the week and then have the weekend to review, to study, and then take that exam. Reach out and connect if you need help, okay? You can reach out to me, you can reach out to the Student Success Center. If you're falling behind, reach out immediately, right? If you're struggling to understand something, reach out immediately. Again, it's a very quick paced class. You don't have a whole lot of time. You can't wait a week if you're not understanding something. And this is our syllabus. So you will find this, there is a link on the homepage of the class that will take you, and then I've linked this syllabus there. I've also sent it out via email to people who are registered by Friday before the course started. We've covered all this. My email address is on there. This is a brief course description. This covers the textbook. Again, course requirements, you will need something more than a phone. You'll need to have, stable internet connection. You should have some sort of device, whether it's a computer, an iPad might work but not as well, or a Chromebook, something that you can have besides a phone. All students have access to Microsoft Word. You also have an OCC Google account. And this just talks a little bit about the structure of the course, some things I already went over. And then here we have a schedule or an outline of the schedule. It could change, but for the most part, this is laid out. So in week 1, again, you'll cover 4 different modules and 3 chapters. So first, you'll start with that introduction video due on Wednesday. Then I'm suggesting that you read chapter 1. Again, it's linked here in the syllabus. If you click on that, it will take you right to that OER text. And then participate in the assignments and the discussions for chapter 1. Same for chapter 2, same for chapter 3. And then you have another big assignment due on Sunday that is build the neuron, as well as your exam. So again, I suggest trying to complete all of this by Friday so that then you can take the study for and take the exam over the weekend. And then you'll see here is week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. And then in week 6, please note that everything is due Friday. All right. The class ends on that Saturday. So everything, there's a small, one or 2 small assignments, and then the exam are all due Friday, the 18th, that last week of classes. So my videos are all on my YouTube account. Feel free to subscribe so you can have access. I do have playlists that are there as well. I've tried to put the videos in somewhat of an order, but they're not completely in order. And then I also have Instagram where I post fun little brain facts and psychology facts pretty much on a weekly basis. All right, thank you for listening.